This is a prize giving for a clear round in the novices. Unfortunately, Leslie went off before we arrived, so give her a shout. Let's see it. Let's see the rosette then. Where's the rosette? Let's see it.
No, Dad, I don't want to show it. Please don't film it. It's only a clear round, Dad. No, I'm not showing you.
If you would take a bottle of wine for Frank and David, thank you to them subscribing and timekeeping. Thank you, Diane.
Pierre, fais longtemps ouvrir le sac.
2.5-year-old German Shepherd dog, run here by Leslie, has been training for agility for about 15 to 18 months and is now show going. She is competing. The heights of the hurdles at the moment are rather low because we got some small dogs running. On the last section we've put the hurdles up and they'll be jumping 2 foot. The height of that dog walk is 4'6" and the planks are about 12 foot long, 8 to 10 inches, I say again 10 to 12 inches wide. Thank you, Leslie, a super run from you. Next to run is Bailey, being run by Tracy, a rescue dog. 3-year-old Cross, been training for about 18 months. He does have some nasty habits. He likes to chase rabbits and squirrels. I don't think he's ever caught any yet, though. Thank you. Next to run is Dylan, being run by Mary here, a 2-year-old border collie who's been training for it. Hello, hello, hello. How did that sneak in there? I picked up 2 cards at once. We got William here being run by Susan, 3-year-old Jack Russell Cross, another rescue dog, this one from Battersea. He was actually picked up as a stray on the streets of Battersea when he was about 4 months old. Cut, bruised, very much knocked about. Spent some time in the for sale section at Battersea before Sue took him home with her. And as you can see, couldn't be a happier dog now. This time we really have got Dylan running. 2-year-old border collie, being run by Mary. Been training for agility for about a year. Those weaving poles are actually the most difficult thing to train a dog to do. Height of that tyre is 3 foot to the centre. He's just gone to say hello to his friends there. Go on, Dylan, you haven't finished yet. Seesaw is 27 inches to the pivot point on it, and again a 12-foot long plank. And this is Poppy running. She's been run by Julia, 2-year-old collie cross, another rescue dog. And this dog's only been training for about 2.5, 3 months, so he's coming on quite well now. Cheating there, but never mind, carry on with him. There is a set entry to the weaving poles. They are meant to enter one way only, and obviously go in between each one so they zigzag. That's cheating as well. But as I think you'll agree, for a dog that's only probably had at the most about an hour's training spread over 2 or 3 months, she's coming on very well. We asked all the handlers to write something about their dogs, and all we got here was smiles nicely. And if you look at her, she does. She actually curls her lips up in a little smile. Next dog to run is Cleo, a 3-year-old GSD being run by Ralph. Cleo has a bit of a checkered history with agility. She's really running now to build herself up. She was out playing with a littermate, who you'll see running later, and seriously strained her back legs and ligaments to the extent that it needed surgery to actually put her back together. She's doing agility now, and as you see, we actually do keep her to the very low jumps to build up her confidence and build up her strength. Because of this, she doesn't do any of the large jumps, and we let her cheat on some of the other stuff. As you see, she enjoys herself, and hopefully within a few months' time she'll be doing all the equipment at full height. Next dog to run is Tansy, being run by Steve, 4.5-year-old golden retriever. Has been training for agility on and off probably for about 6 months. I say on and off because Steve's working pattern doesn't give him the time he'd like to actually train. With all our training, we ought to try and work on reward and encouragement. Play retrieves with toys, recalls, and if really necessary, although we prefer not to, we will use little tidbits of food. Here we got Brody running. Brody's only just started training. He's still got to learn a little bit of discipline. He's a soft Wheaton Terrier. 15 months old. He's been training again for about 2.5 months. Colin took him on after he'd had about 4 owners in 8 months. He had the same number of names, but as you can see, he's a real handful, very willful, but you couldn't come across a happier dog. He's very much a boy dog. Kennel Club made a bit of a mix-up and actually registered him as Golden Girl. He's cost Colin a fortune so far because he's eaten half the house, but I don't think he'll actually change him. And here we have... Oh, back we go again. All right, we'll try again then. The idea of the helicopter. Dog running here is Fernie, 4-year-old GSD being run by Reg. She's been training for about 2 years, and she really does enjoy it. I think Reg does as well, but the only trouble is keeping up with her. The other problem we do have at times is most people here have got husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends with them, and is very often keeping the dog in the ring because it suddenly sees a friend it wants to go and make a fuss of. The next dog to run is Robbie, another GSD. This one, 2 years old, been training for about 4 months. Really, these yellow bits that you see on the dog walk A-frame seesaw, the whole idea of it is to stop the dogs jumping off and jumping higher than we want them to and perhaps injuring themselves. They are supposed to get a paw in the yellow markings both on the way up and on the way down. In a competition, if they don't achieve this, they get faulted for it and would stand very little chance of being placed. You can see after a while the dogs learn where the seesaw's going to pivot and they'll actually stop and wait for it. I'm told that he's a real lap dog and he likes nothing better at night than to be sitting on his handler's lap. A 6.5 stone shepherd dog, rather her than me. Another shepherd, Pasha, 4-year-old gypsy, who's been training for about 15 months, and Debbie is the handler. Debbie describes the doggies, that is, not herself, as a blonde bimbo who takes over the sofa every night and loves rabbiting and swimming. As far as the swimming is concerned, the dirtier and smellier the water, the better. Now, Cleo you saw earlier on, and that's where Pasha was off to then, to see where her mate is. Pasha says that her biggest ambition is to own a cat of her own. And she also says that her best friend is a Great Dane puppy called Grace, and apparently they play for hours together. And the next dog running is Zeba, another GSD, 4 years old this time, has been training for about 15 months. It's Sarah who's running her, and her registered name with the Kennel Club is Zeba the Princess. Zeba registers her best friend as a miniature rabbit that Sarah once had as a pet. There's another one, you see, off to find Dad. She won't like this bit because she doesn't like me very much. That's why she's looking sideways at me, wondering if I'm going to taste good today. This is one bit of equipment she does love. You could turn her loose in the field here and she'd be happy all day just going to and fro over that dog walk. Next we have Jeans the handler, it is the dog, and an 8-year-old crossbreed who he's been doing agility for some time now, like about 7 years. He's competed very well. This is his last year. Jeans decided that he's slowing up now, and he's a bit of a veteran, and that's enough, and she'll work him just because he enjoys it occasionally, but he's given up competition with him. In his heyday, he was probably just about the fastest dog you'll see here this afternoon. As it is now, as you can see, he's slowed down a little bit, but he's still very game and enjoys it. His biggest problem is he likes rolling in things, so we want to put him together with Pasha, and again, the smellier and nastier, the better. Another rescue dog was left tied up in the garden for months before Jean took him on. And the next dog to run is Blue. Blue, again, another rescue dog. A large proportion of our dogs are rescue dogs, mainly, I think, because the people that take up agility love dogs, love the sport, and are willing to take the rescue dogs who need a home. Blue was actually thrown out of a car on the motorway when Dave took him on. He's been training now for about 3 months. When he first started, he was very nervous. Now, well, in 3 months, you wouldn't think it was the same dog. The only problem is at times is he's looking for his mum. And the next dog, oh no, he's going to come back and finish. That's it, keep him going. He's enjoying it, you see. It doesn't matter about the obstacles. I'm having a good run round and enjoying it. They all seem to love the dog walk, that and the A-frame. Problem is with the A-frame, you get the odd dog that sits at the top of it because it can see a lot more from there. And here we have Tess running now, being run by Tracy. Yet another rescue dog. Oh, go on, back into that tunnel. Oh, there's lots of sniffs here, isn't there? Come on in. Running 2 dogs here, some people. Tracy's running 2, and this is Susan's second dog. This is Annie, another rescue dog. 3-year-old Jack Russell Cross, who's just been training for a few months. But as you can see, he really enjoys it. Same as William, the little Jack Russell you saw earlier, came from Battersea. At 7 months of age, having had 2 owners, supposedly vicious, nasty, snapped at people. When Susan got him home, she had a few problems for a while, but with lots of TLC, he settled down, and another super dog. Here we got Mary again, this time running Ben, another of her collies. Into the weed poles. We were very generous this afternoon. Those running 2 dogs, we gave them half a dozen dogs to rest in before they had to run again. Oh, do I really have to go around that second loop? I'd rather go and say hello to Blue. Wishing Well is the same height as the normal jumps. We're setting it at 2 foot. The maximum it would be is 2'6". Right, that concludes the first section of our demonstration, which is full course by all the dogs we've got here. What we'd like to do now is just show you very quickly how we teach the dogs to actually do the hurdles. If we can have William. We've lost William. There's William. Right. Down here at the front end here by the tyre you'll see William. Now how we teach them to jump is all through encouragement. So what we do is sit the dog in front of the jump, the handler would go round the other side of the jump and then just call him to it, just as though it's a recall, and hopefully your dog, thinking you're the best thing since sliced bread, always wants to come to you. Bit awkward showing you this at times because William knows what we want him to do. He also knows what he wants to do, and it's not jump that hurdle. It's not too expensive. Other ways of training, if you haven't got the hurdles to use, you can always borrow next door's dog. Here we got Barney laid down in the middle here, and you can practice your hurdles exactly the same just using your friend's dog. You can also adjust the height of them, which is very useful. You can jump them laying down, or you can jump them standing up. Oh, and we've got to turn him round now to jump him from the other side because Seeker only likes to go one way. Good, well done, Seeks. The long jump is taught exactly the same way. We sit the dog in front of it and do a recall, and as soon as we've done that, then we go over it, both on the left-hand side, but we also put the dog on the other side, put him on the right-hand side, and jump it that way, because most dogs like being on the left, whereas if on this sort of competition, you can save a hell of a lot of time if you can work your dog both on the right and the left. Thank you, and there's Brody, both on the lead and off the lead. Pike Tunnel, which is behind me now. We train exactly the same way. We just hold the dog, usually in the down position, go to the other end, look through, so all the dog can see is you framed, and what you get, a face full of dog. From that again, we just feed them through gently, both on the left and the right. And through he goes. This is another piece of equipment we can improvise on. Again, we got Barney here, and okay, Colin, thank you. And we can use a dog as a tunnel. We're using the biggest and smallest here just for make things a little more interesting, but what we can do is use the same principle and call our dog through, and there we are. We don't have to buy a tunnel. The other tunnel that we use, and through he goes, is a collapsible tunnel, and Ralph with Cleo now show us how that goes. The collapsible tunnel, Ralph, not a weaving pole. Treated exactly the same as the pipe tunnel. Put the dog down, or stand, lift up the end, and in theory, through he goes. Once the dog's done that a few times, he'll normally go through quite happily by himself. The A-frame, the largest piece of equipment here, again, everything on the lead, we just run them up over on the lead. If you like to run Blue over, we do sometimes put a double lead on just to keep them in the centre and a handler either side. Soon as they're happy, we take the lead off and